It's the 20th of December 2009 and we've only 5 days left until Christmas. Me and the crew wish you a very happy Christmas and have a great happy new year. Well, this is the last video until after Christmas, so here comes one more part from video games and consoles from the loft for you to enjoy. Well, to finish off with a bang before Christmas, today is Tiger Handheld Day and I have 6 items to show you, 4 of which are based on famous computer games, 1 is based on a great sports game, and the final item was manufactured by Hasbro in 2002 and sold by Tiger Electronics, and that is not a video game, but it's a Star Wars encyclopedia. Well, that will feature on a little later in the show, so let's kick start off with these 4 famous games. We have Sonic 2, Paperboy, Thunderblade, and Hang On. Well, Tiger Electronics was founded in 1978 and are based with our great friends across the water in America. The company have been producing many great toys for many years now and have produced some really popular ones as well, from the Furbies to the Talk Boy, which featured in Home Alone 2, to the R-Zone, which wasn't necessarily that successful, but it was extremely innovative and great and exciting to see great ideas coming from Tiger. Well, here's 4 more for us to enjoy, so let's take a closer look. Well, we're starting off with Hang On, which was originally from Sega, and the original game was made in 1985, but this handheld was made in 1988. It has a large speaker on the back, and you'll need to fit 2 AA batteries into the battery compartment. It has a lovely display, which really sets the scene for this great game. You have high and low gears, you can move left and right, you have a nice speaker on the front, you've got the off, sound, max score, and on and off start button switches, and you have your acceleration and brake buttons. Next we have another great game from Sega, and this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, originally released in 1992, and so was this handheld. Has a nice big speaker and you'll need to fit once again 2 AA batteries. Has a lovely theme display and a great display for the gameplay. You can move left, right, up and down. You have off, sound, pause, on and start, a nice big speaker and your action button. Next we have Thunderblade, another game from Sega, originally released in 1988, and this handheld was made in the same year. A nice big speaker and 2 AA batteries once again. A lovely themed picture which looks extremely good and is probably one of the best I've seen. Has a lovely display screen. You can move left, right, up and down to move your chopper up and down. You have an off, sound, max score, on and start button. A speaker again, and your missile and bomb buttons. And finally we have the Atari classic Paperboy, originally from 1984, and this was released by Tiger in 1988. A big speaker and 2 AA batteries once again. This has a lovely themed display on the front. It really sets the scene and looks incredibly good. Has a nice game display. You have 3 controls to move forward, left and right, and your brake button. You have your off, sound, report, on start buttons. You have a speaker and your throw and pick buttons. Well, we're revving off with Hang On, and I'm not really into motorbikes, but Hang On has always been a favourite game of mine, especially on the Sega Mega Drive. This version though is rather limited, and the controls are slightly unresponsive, and I find manoeuvring around the corners is a little too tricky. Well, the object of Sonic 2 is to complete up to 7 zones with the help of your buddy Tails. There are plenty of loop-de-loops to have fun on, laser beams, and plenty of moving obstacles. And of course you'll have to battle Dr. Robotnik at the end of each level. I do find the sound is a little bit annoying on this game. So, you're a gunship gladiator and you're in control of a heavily armed battle chopper as you battle your way around 4 stages, taking care of enemy tanks which have ground-to-air missiles and enemy choppers. This is an extremely engaging game and I really like the sound effects on this game. It really brings it to life. And finally, the Atari classic Paperboy, which has been produced extremely well on this handheld. It has most features to any normal version of the game, such as the skateboarder, houses, post boxes, cars, benches and fences, and it follows the game extremely well. It's a cracker. Well, these are really great handhelds from Tiger. 4 classic games for you to take just about anywhere to enjoy. I love the way that Tiger made the use of the handhelds to give you these great themed images to really set the scene. I love the simple controls and the gameplay as well. Okay, some games have been produced better than others and others have smoother music as well, but these are great and excellent items to collect, and that's why I'm going to collect some more. Well, from 4 classic games, let's take a look at this great sports game, and this is 10-pin bowling. Yes, it's Tiger's take on 10-pin bowling, and as you might be able to see, it's been licensed out to one of my favourite producers of video games, Grandstand, from the 1970s and 1980s, and behind the branded name of Grandstand lies the Adam Leisure Group, and they imported many different products from around the world from many different manufacturers such as Tomy, Epoch and Entex, and then stuck the branded name of Grandstand on the product. Well, this is 10-pin bowling, so let's take a closer look. Well, here's the game, and as you can see I've still got the original manual which gives you all the details of how to perfect the technique in playing the game, which is really handy because it is quite tricky. As on the back you can see it was made in 1987, has a speaker and you'll need 2 AA batteries. It has a lovely themed bowling alley sort of picture around the gameplay screen, and the gameplay screen itself is a really nice bowling alley feature. You have your straight button, release the ball button, off, music, player, start and on buttons. You can move left and right across the alley, and you can see it was licensed to Grandstand. So you can play this game in a 1 or 2 player mode, which is a very nice feature. The game has simple controls, but it is perfecting the technique when releasing the bowling ball down the alley. You have to carefully watch the player's arms swing, and the ball can be released in 4 different positions. It's all about timing and being accurate, but it's a very good game and brought bowling home. As you can play a full 10 frames, make strikes and pick up spares and curve the ball. What great fun! Well, Tiger's take on 10-pin bowling is right on the money. It's been made extremely well to give you a real bowling experience, from the splits to the spares and strikes, and of course you can play this game with up to 2 players. Okay, the controls and the timing can be a little tricky, but you wouldn't want this game to be easy, and it's a good one at that. Well, from 5 great games out of the way, let's check out the last item of the day, and this is the Star Wars Jedi Dex. Well, since 1998, Tiger has been a part of the toy maker Hasbro, and in 2002 Hasbro were unveiling their new Star Wars toy lines at a toy convention in New York City to coincide with the new film release of Star Wars Episode 2. A lot of new figures and games were on show, including one handheld in particular, which was made for all of the fans of the films to have all of the key information on their favourite characters and general facts about all of the Star Wars films. And that item was this, the Jedi Dex. So let's take a closer look. Well, as you can see, the Star Wars Jedi Dex is extremely compact. It's about 3 or 4 times the size of a mobile phone, but it's amazing what information is stored on this tiny handheld. It needs 2 LR44 batteries, but it's really compact, and I love the way it expands open to unreveal a keyboard with numbers and letters, so you can edit your own personal information and put in personal notes and organise other things inside of this lovely little handheld. And of course, it has great control to move about the options to find out that key information about all of your favourite Star Wars facts and characters. Well, the Jedi Dex features lots of options, from characters to droids, aliens, technology department. There is even a quiz, clock, calculator, personal notes section, and even a schedule list. Every character or feature from the films have pictures and extremely detailed information on them, from the height, model and background story, to give you full insight, and you can learn information from the films that you may have not known before. This is a must-have for any Star Wars enthusiast. Well, this really is a great item. It's extremely informative and a must-have for any Star Wars fanatic, and has everything you need to know to become a complete guru on Star Wars. It also has those nice extra features such as the quiz, schedule list, and even you can add some of your own personal notes. So it's quite handy. Rather than just being sort of like an encyclopedia, it has other functions as well, and it's a top item from Tiger.